Hey guys, Vern's here, back again with another Supercoach video. Now first of all, I'd like to start off with I am so sorry how late this video is. It just ended up being a busy week for me. I went down to my grandparents, stayed with them from like Thursday to Tuesday, and then when I got back it was pretty late Tuesday night. Last night I could have potentially done it, but I kind of got tired and I thought rather than doing a half-hearted video I'd just do one today. I did not realize it was a Thursday night game. I am so sorry about that. So unfortunately, I am a little bit late there. So yeah, just first of all, apologies, my mistake there. Second of all, how did we go this week? Well, round 14. Honestly, disappointing. We had a rank jump up, 918 places. We finished off 4,402 after the bye, so we did gain about 3,000 places, which seems nice overall, but I really wanted a much bigger jump this week, and just a lot of things went really poor for us. An 1,884 score looks pretty low, but considering the week, it's not that bad, but it's just a bit of carnage in the team. Now, when we have a bit of a look at it, they're going to be all moved around a bit because I can't actually reverse the way I moved everyone around purely because of the round already starting, but that's all right. I'm sure we'll be able to piece it together. If they ever did not play, then they're probably not on my field. Okay, so jumping on into it, we'll get a bit closer just so we have a bit of view for that, guys. Good news is we get to see all the green lights, who's actually playing. So as we can see, last week I ended up bringing in our boy right here. I don't know how to say that last name, so I'm not going to do it. Rookie from St. Kilda, 102k, awesome. Get maximum money out of him. Unfortunately, the biggest thing this round that really hurt me was Parrish being out again. I would have changed him to Mills. That was my plan. But then I thought, well, if Parrish gets up next week, am I really going to trade someone for a 1 week injury? That seems insane, especially when I could do an upgrade and kind of finish my team. Like, wouldn't that just be better overall? Like, it's a bye round anyway, so even if he plays, there's already going to be 40 points on field from a rookie, and if he scores 100, it's only really a 60-point plus. So it's not really a big difference. Saying that, the trade I made instead was bringing in Wits, who was basically in the same boat. This isn't showing us. Oh, there we go, because we weren't on that. So Wits ended up dropping a 68, which was terrible, and he only outscored my bottom tier rookie. I think it might have been Clark at the 45, by like 20 points. So he only netted me 20 extra points bringing in Wits. If I bring in Mills, he was like 70 more points. I would have banked 70 more points, but didn't think it was worth it for the 1 week. Obviously ended up being 2 weeks, so really fucking hurt. The Wits idea was just Gold Coast lineup was kind of really good in the Rucks line. I thought Riley O'Brien would be obviously a harder matchup, but in reality, Suns were going to win that game. They're a better team, so I thought naturally having the better midfielders would just benefit him in the ruck. He gets a hit out, it's probably a hit out to advantage, but it just didn't work out that way. There was a lot of throw-ins that game as well. I ended up watching that game all the way through. There was, the first quarter, the ball just went out of bounds. I swear like 40 times. Like, it was unbelievable how much it went out of bounds, and people just, ball ups happened, and there was so many contests, especially like the first 5 minutes of the game. And Wits really didn't get the reel in the points for that, which hurt a lot. But the way I looked at it was he's got Adelaide this week, which I thought would be a much better score than it was. He comes into Power, who had the 102k mid-season draft pickup playing for them, and I thought he should win that. Obviously, he goes down injured, so he's going to be up against Jeremy Finlayson, so he should have a pretty good week this week, so that trends well. Pies, as I mentioned, Cameron and Mason Cox, they're not great hit-out ruckmen. They're more around the ground workers, and I think Wits will probably tail up that game. Richmond, yeah, Nankervis has been playing pretty well, actually, but I still backed him in. Essendon have been terrible, so I thought similar thing to Adelaide. Even like Draper's not a bad ruckman overall. He's quite athletic and whatnot, but Suns will probably win the game, meaning that there's a good chance that his hitouts are just going to be more effective, more likely to be a hit out to advantage, and overall just be better. Obviously, West Coast and North in their gold is not a bad ruck. Hawthorn's not too bad with Reeves back in the team, but I just felt like he had a pretty good run for the rest of the season overall. So that was my logic of bringing him in at the end of the day. And as I said, if I don't bring him in, I have Cameron there, which isn't so bad overall, but it means that I haven't finished my team. It means that I went a sideways for a premium for potentially 1 week instead of doing potentially an upgrade. So That was my logic behind it. It just didn't work out. And as you can see, I got torched around the ground with just poor performing premiums. We have Cripps come out with the 79. Like, look, everyone has him, so that's fine. I guess it's not like a huge deal at the end of the day. It does suck that I ended up getting Cripps at the end of the day. He's really dropped off in the last 5 weeks. I think technically I've had him for 5 games. So if you look at his 5-round average, I had him from the Adelaide game. So we've had his 5-round average doesn't include this massive 151 where I also captained him. So I did get a lot of points there. But his 5-round average, it's a 96. It's dreadful. And I've mainly got that. I didn't get the benefit of the start of the season, if anything, because I didn't have him. Yeah, I didn't have him for this down game, and then the game he missed on top of it. But his average was significantly better. And he's really starting to hurt me. I wish I did actually move him on for a different premium. I wish I had Mills instead. I wish I stuck to my guns. I really wanted Mills in this team, and things just didn't pan out that way. Buy structure didn't pan out that way, so I just didn't do it. But getting Cripps has really hurt me. I'd love for him to bounce back. He's still not looking like a bad player. He's just definitely not transitioning on the Supercoach end right now, and he's doing all this weird ruck work, which I just don't like either. But yeah, Cripps hurt me, hurt a lot of others. We brought in Jelly last week, who had a great game last week, but the 65 this week, I just don't know what happened with Jelly this game. He was just MIA. He was just Mia. He just wasn't there. I just don't know what was happening. I also watched a fair bit of this game, and he just wasn't there. There was a lot of times I kept thinking, has he gone off as a medical sub? Like, has he been injured? Like, what has happened here? And then 4 minutes later, you'd see him run around a pack, and you'd be like, oh no, he's there. He's just not doing anything. So Jelly was super frustrating to watch. Obviously, Witts had the terrible score too. Yeah, and then Stewart on his debut game, 95. That's okay, and Short's 84. It wasn't a good week overall. It felt like my premiums really underperformed, and in a week that I really should have got up and just taken off, in my opinion. It just didn't happen. I really felt like I was going to be jumping up a good 2,000-3,000 places this week because my team was really well set up for it, and it just didn't happen, and it was just super frustrating. Overall, we had the captaincy on Laird as well, not McRae, so we didn't actually get the great captain score. I've only got that set up for this week moving forward. Obviously, I have the VC on Neil, who only dropped to 114 or so. Oliver dropped to 140. Picked the wrong one of the two. Unfortunate. But look, McRae into Hawthorn. I think we should be good there. Hopefully, he can come back with a good game because he's had a few low ones. Then we have... so Ware actually played on field for me as well, so I didn't run this boy. Because Cripps wasn't there. He dropped his 51, and I liked the 51, but I honestly thought Ware would outscore it. Ware's played 3 games. His lowest game was 51, and I just like what he's been doing, so I just took the risk with him, banked 14 extra points. Nice. Greg Clark's score didn't end up counting because it was the 44. I think we got Clark in the forward line instead. We got his score, so we gained a point there. Whoopee. But look, honestly, our forward line came out. Bontempelli the 120, Dunkley the 114, Parker the 135, Heaney the 124. Massive scores. So that was awesome. We had Dawson come out with a massive score too, 140, huge. Oh man, this is what we expected from him at the start of the year, and he was a bit of a slow burn, but now he's really turned it on. Sinclair had the 105. That's fine. I'm happy with what he's doing. Hewitt 103. That's fine. So overall, Miller also only had the 100, which was kind of sad. Rao popped off. Ugh, painful. I think that's what hurt me a lot. There was a few players that I have the anti-pod for that popped off. Once again, Caniglio went massive. So frustrating. Just a stupid trade by me at the end of the day. Rao had a good game, but nobody should be holding Rao at this time. They probably should have flipped him at his buys. So if you're holding on to him, then you're in a pretty bad position. So as much as he had a good game, you're clearly not in a good position, so it probably doesn't feel that great. But yeah, that's basically the team. 4 trades left. The team's done. The team is done. We have our 6 premiums. We have our midfielders. Let's go through it. So we've got Sinclair. We've got Stewart. We've got Dawson. We've got Hewitt, Crisp, and Short in the back line. We're missing, I guess the big one here is Sicily, but he has turned off the last few weeks, so hopefully he can keep putting up these... bit more around the 100 mark. If he gets towards those 140s, it's a very painful week for me, but pretty happy with the back line. Very consistent players. It's unfortunate Short's turned off at this part of the year, but that's okay. I am pretty happy with the team overall. In the back, midfield we'll go to next. Oliver, Neil, Laird, Parrish, Kelly, Jelly, specifically, Miller, McRae, and Cripps. As I said, the annoying one there I feel is Cripps. Darcy Parish getting injured the week I brought him in, gets the 45, then 2 weeks off. It's so frustrating, and I want to move him on right now. I need to double check his injury because, I mean, if he's back next week, what was the point of holding him last week just to move him on this week so he's back the next week? But it is getting to the end of the season, and it does really suck to just have a premium not scoring for you. But that's just the way it is. Unfortunately, Greg Clark and Stevens didn't get named, though, so I don't actually have any cover, which is also very frustrating. Man, that sucks. God damn. But yeah, I mean, looking at this, look, Miller hasn't quite been what we wanted from him. McRae was doing really well, turned off a bit, but he's still doing well. Cripps has not really given us the dividends we wanted. Jelly, I do wish Mills was in this team. I don't know. I still believe in Jelly. I think Jelly's still a good player, so it's not the end of the world. It just sucks. Parrish, super unfortunate. Laird, doing well. Oliver and Neil doing well. So yeah, I think missing here, obviously, the big one is Mills. We wish we had Mills here. We just don't. Moving Mills in for Cripps would be very nice. Would really make a nice team, but it's not the case. Rucks, we went with Witz and Darcy. I think Witz had just been playing out of his mind, and I liked his end of the season run, as we saw. Darcy, I just love the upside Darcy brings. He's a scary man not to own, because if he has one of these 180 games that we know he's capable of, it's going to feel very punishing not owning him. And if you can bank a VC or a C, I don't know if I'd ever run a C on Darcy. I think just the VC. Then awesome. Forward line, it's not the end of the world, the forward line. I think also with the Wits thing, that was the reason I did Wits over English. Obviously, the ones I'm missing here is potentially gone, but I'm pretty happy with the two I have. Now, moving into the forward line, obviously, the one I'm missing is English. Again, I'm thinking maybe I want to use 2 trades once these guys earn a bit more money to try and go one up, one down and bring in an English or a Liberatore and have a good swingman for the forward midfield. But these guys aren't even playing, so they're not even going to be making me any money. Ware is on the extended bench, so he's probably actually going to play. But Clark and Stevens aren't. Rioli at least is, which is nice, and so is Clark. So I really need to get like 2 of them to like 300k, 4, close to maybe 350, 400k, and then I can make that upgrade play. Just probably won't happen. But yes, forward line, we've got Bontempelli, Dunkley, Brody, Parker, Lipinski, and Heaney. So yes, we obviously started with the Lipinski pick. We've held him this long. Obviously, we could very easily get like a 1 up, 1 down by going like a Greg Clark down, bank 150k, and then sort of move Lipinski up. Once again, would have been nice to have the 16k if we got the Port Ruck on the bench, but we don't. And that could potentially turn into like an English, which would be really, really nice. But I just don't want to use my traits like that. Like, that's going to be a 1 up, 1 down to move a on the cusp premium to, I guess, an Uber premium, which is pretty good. But at the same time, if I'm running out of trades here, it's going to be the end. Yeah, so just super unfortunate here this week looking at it. I'm really happy with the team overall, and I think we can still gain some ground before the season ends with this team. I think if I can get that Lipinski or if I can get that English or Liberatore in from a 1 up, 1 down with the rookies and use them as a swingman, that could be really good to help push me towards these last few weeks and get me a nice finish. Hopefully, I think at this point, maybe top 1000s out of it. I think top 2000s still in range, though, with where we're at. But the big question mark here is honestly Parrish. I need to go check that out. I'm going to just see if I can find anything on Parrish real quick, guys. Has anyone released anything? Let's have... Oh, my goodness. I did this to us last week. Everyone ignore the Discord. Oh, my goodness. Please drag. Once again, I'm going to go to George's Discord because that man... They have the announcements. They have the goods. I want to go to news, actually. What's in the news category? Do we have Parrish here? Willie Rioli. That's from last week. Let's move on. thought, like, I was expecting Parish to be the 1 weeker, I think, off the information I found originally, which was, I think, once again on Jord's Discord. No, I'm sorry I'm doing this in the video, guys. As you can see, it's 2 a.m. It's been once again another busy night. It's been very hectic. There's just a lot going on in life, and once again, I was pretty tired, and I'm like, I just need to get it done, and I haven't done any research into this. All I really did was before tonight's game, because I checked it at dinner, realized 10 minutes till the game. Didn't even realize it was Thursday night game. I was like, oh my goodness, Thursday night game. I've got to move people around. And so I've only really touched this earlier today, and yeah, so sorry about that. Goodness, come on, Parish News. Where do we have Parish News? Parish. No sign of Darcy Parish. The airport of the Bombers left. I want to say it's probably just going to be the 1 week with Parish. 1 more week. I want to think optimally and think that. I'm scared of that, though. That is wishful thinking, to say the least. Where's the injury room? Am I being stupid? Okay, whatever. I'm going to just give up on that because I'm being lazy. Yeah, look, I'm sure many people talked through it through the week, and they've talked about potentially being longer, so I'm sure that you'll be able to find that. I guess this was just a quick team review. We're already a game into this week, so we can see Neil and Oliver's scores. Nice to have. I'm going to bank McRae in. This sucks so much having Parish. I don't even have... I think that's the most frustrating thing. I just don't have cover. Like, best case scenario, Greg Clark or Stevens is a medical sub, and they score me at 20. But I hate that. I would much rather just... I don't even think I can side with him, actually, because he lost so much money. Even if I wanted to move him on for someone... Yeah, Mills is out of range. Next best one is Brayshaw. Oh, my goodness. No, I don't want those guys in my teams. I would much rather Parish. So, no, I'm just going to hold Parish for the week. We'll just accept that. I guess final thing we're just going to have a look at here is actually every player and what we're looking at the end of the season. So we're just going to filter for mids. Is there any way to remove... There's no way to remove the points that were already scored. That's kind of annoying. Is there really not a way to remove live points? That's super annoying. Is it in the drop downs here? No. I guess we just accept that. That's okay. Whatever. Move on. We know what we're doing here. So overall, top players, we can see clearly out of the 8 players that we have at the top here. Sinclair's also there, and so is Dunkley. Ignore those guys. We're missing Mills. Technically, we're missing Brayshaw, who had a really good last game too, and we're missing Keys. But that's on a total points front. What we would much rather look at is the averages, because at the end of the day, as long as they play every game, the players with the most averages are going to reward us the best. So we've got Neil, Oliver, McRae, Laird, Miller. We talked about that. We've got a lot of the top tier. Parish has dropped down a bit because of that injury game, unfortunately. But you can see the ones we're missing is sort of Walsh. Really unfortunate that I didn't go Walsh over Parish here. Yeah, Walsh obviously slightly outscored Parish in the injury game. But then the 109 last week that I missed. So that was, once again, only outscoring a 40. So it's like a 64-point extra, but extra points are extra points. So, look... Players that I would prefer. At the end of the day, I'm very happy with these players that I have. I'm very happy with the Parish. As I mentioned, potentially Cripps out for the Mills. That would have been awesome. I mean, Jelly and Walsh basically scored the same over the last 2 weeks, because I think Walsh got the 60, then the 109, and Jelly got like 111 and a 60. So basically the same thing. I think I was always going to go Parish, so there's no way that was ever not happening. Obviously, Walsh over Parish would have worked out better, but... hindsight's 2020. People get injured. It's unlucky. I think Parish was still the correct play at the time. Anyone else that I would really want in my team around here? Not really. I think we're looking at the top dogs, and these are the guys I want. So that's mids. Let's jump into defense. We're pretty good with defense as well. So obviously we don't have Doherty. Doherty's had 2 really good back-to-back weeks, slightly better than Sinclair. But overall, I'm still pretty happy with Sinclair, and I think Sinclair is just likely to be injured overall. So yeah, averages were actually pretty good here. So we've got 6 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We just don't have Sicily and Doherty. They're the ones we're missing. I just gotta hope Sicily tones it back for the next few games. Well, into the rest of the season, that would be nice. He's toned it back definitely recently. I know he might not look like that in his 3-round average and 5-round average, but I think his last 2 games were a bit down, which hopefully he can keep that trend a bit more. Yeah, he had the 98 and 116, considering he was going 140, 120, 140, 130. These are much nicer numbers to see. I hope he keeps it much closer to this. And then my players will hopefully outperform that. So, defense, we're looking pretty good there. Ruck line, yeah, this one looks a bit sketchy here. This one looks sketchy. It looks sketchy because English is unbelievable. Gorn obviously didn't play, so that's fine. So, in reality, considering how these guys have been, I think I read news that English was injured. Sorry, as I said, I've been a bit out of the loop this week. He's got the injury symbol, and I think I did actually concussion. So, yeah. And then Grundy's obviously out. This leaves, yeah. I mean, look, if we're not counting literally English, Gorn, Grundy, Witts, and Sean Darcy are definitely the 2 rucks I'd want. Even including them, it's hard to go past with how Witts has played this season and just the heights that Darcy can get to. We know what happens when Darcy goes off. So I'm very happy with these guys too. It might not look great overall, but I think they were the right picks. Goldstein obviously had a bit of a better few weeks. Obviously, I had the choice between Darcy, Cameron, and Goldstein. That was actually a choice I was topping up. So it's been 5 weeks since I had them in my team. Technically, Goldie went a 103 average. What did Cameron go? He should be here. Darcy, Cameron. So 103 average. Wait, I can just see another 5-round average. 109 average. So Darcy was definitely the better pick. Just thought I'd compare those two. I definitely knew Darcy was a great pick and was very happy with him. But yeah, the upgrade to Witts, still happy with that. And then finally the forward line, which, once again, I think is not too bad. Yeah, we got Dunkley, Parker, Brody, Bontempelli, and Heaney. So we're really just missing out on Liberatore. This is so unfortunate about the Caniglio thing. Like, it's so unfortunate because I'm sure that if you actually watch my videos, guys, I appreciate it. If you do, I really appreciate those that watch them all the way through as well. I know a few of you love to give me feedback about these things that I go in depth about. So clearly you watch the videos, and I appreciate that. But the Caniglio thing, the reason that we moved on Caniglio was the whole sort of Bailey Smith, Bontempelli situation where Caniglio was sitting around like rank 10 at the time because obviously he's gone poggers the last 3 weeks. Look at that average. That has brought him up so much. He was like much lower on the chopping block. So he was like down here around the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th mark, whatever he was. Actually, technically I could filter to that. So let's just go back to, I think around 10 or 9 when we moved him on or whatever it was. So total points. Actually, I guess average is almost more important. There we go. He's 14th overall. Now, at the end of the day, do you want the guy that's dropped to 140? No. Which week did he? So it would have been before that, I think, actually the week before. So he drops the 140. Yeah, 37 is the week we moved him on. So, yeah, that was really unfortunate. We moved him on for literally his 140. My goodness, so unlucky. So he was 19th in averages after this. 19th. Now, at the end of the day, we want the top 6 players, and he's sitting down there at 19th. And I'm like, look, even if Caniglio comes back and he's sitting around the 10th, 12th, 11th mark, 1, he's outside of the top 6 players we really want. And 2, we still had Bailey Smith and Bontempelli and these other players to come in to push him down further. So he wouldn't have been showing as 19th at the time, but that was my logic. It's like he is on the, like, he's not quite a keeper as it is. He's sort of, I didn't think he was a keeper as he was, but then on top of like Smith and Bontempelli moving in on top of it, it's like he's falling either further down the chopping block. He's not someone we want in the final team. He's going to lose a lot of cash because there's 37 and we need to move him on. And I think that was the correct logic, correct play at the end of the day because it just wasn't good. Obviously, that was when we were getting the new coach, though, for GWS that week, and maybe I should have held a week extra, especially knowing that he would have been great buy coverage. Obviously, he goes bananas after that, completely ruins me. 5-round average, which is absolutely nutty. Where is he? So he's gone all the way up to 9th now. Yeah, the 3-round average is the big one, but even the 5-round average is amazing. I mean, that's kind of a big one too, because to do that over 5 rounds is a huge increase. And we saw he was down under 90 for an average, and now he's over 100. So congrats to all those that held him. Obviously, I think my logic was sound as to why I moved him on. It just didn't work out this time. So that's a huge sucker punch right there to have that happen. So yeah, I guess looking at the end of the team, obviously you'd love English in there, you'd love Smith in there if they were playing every game for the rest of the season. So when they get back to play the rest of the games, you wouldn't mind them in because they're playing really well. As of right now, obviously not. Liberatore would be the next one on the list that we'd really sort of missing, and then Caniglio after that. As we see here, Lipinski's really fallen down the table, and he's sort of at that Caniglio position where he was previously. As to why I sort of want to upgrade him, because I don't want this not really a keeper, not really a premium, just on the cusp of it at best. Or I could upgrade him to an uber premium in like English or something, you know? That just seems way better. So that's why I'm contemplating it. The team overall, I think, is looking really good. And even just going over that and looking where they're sitting on the average table, the team is set up to just really run home. The only problem is slightly the forward line with Lipinski and... I mean, if Short and Cripps don't get their acts together, they're also hindering us. But overall, it's looking not too bad. Once again, sucks for missing Parrish. But yes, that's the video, guys. That's everything I sort of just wanted to talk about. Once again, probably over-talked about it. It's the end of the season. We just wanted this to be a nice, quick video. But I guess I would go through all my thoughts on the buys and how things are panning out and how the final teams panned out. So they're probably going to be a lot shorter videos after this because there's not really much to go into. I don't need to go into depth about these things again. We've done it. We will just really go over the scores the next few weeks, and if anything cool happens, we'll talk about it. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking, subscribing, just watching the videos. I thoroughly enjoy it. I've really enjoyed the season of doing these super quick videos, and ignore that sound. I'm so sorry. My laptop just slid off the pile of clothes it was sitting on because that's how we manage our desk. But yeah, I'll send it off there, guys. So good luck for the rest of the week. Hope that a lot of you banked that VC on Oliver. That would be awesome. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.